Hi, I'm Justin.
Also, I hate the way my voice sounds, so if you can do whatever Photoshop does to voices, make me sound awesome.
And this is my lovely friend,
The beauty in the eyes of the beholder, and it's just about getting into the seat of being the beholder.
Hayley.
I don't think you have to be particularly perceptive. I just think you have to look up.
This podcast is mostly just her telling me stories.
If you expose yourself to the possibility that this might be really awkward, there can be something just really cool on the other side of it.
She thinks that her life and way of looking at things are
Oh, I was kind of waiting on you. I thought you were getting your stuff ready. You're waiting on me?
pretty normal.
You got to edit out all the misinformation about the Amish.
Maybe you can relate.
I would like a chance to re-sing the Amish Paradise.
If you want lighthearted stories
All right, you want to talk about goats?
and stream of consciousness,
I just woke up and needed some friends, and so I bought them.
then you're going to like the Sunny Side Up podcast.
Sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up, sunny side up.
So, if you're at all like me, you may feel that you're living in a world that can be a bit overwhelming and confusing at times. I'm also a huge fan of podcasts, documentaries, docudramas, stories, and of just information in general. Between all of that and the social media and news, sometimes our brains can feel like they're on overload. Hayley and I hope that this podcast can be something of an antidote to all of that. Like little jello shots of joy and distraction. None of it is too serious or really too informative. Mostly it's just two friends who have conversational chemistry talking about whatever enters the minds of relatively ADHD people. We hope you enjoy. But back to your point, I think you may be right.
I don't know which point, but I love that I'm right.
The converting, okay, yeah, the point that I'm referring to is converting the person who has strong feelings.
Yeah,
So let me
okay.
tell you a quick little story just to give you some affirmation that you're onto
Please
something.
affirm me. I love it. I will
Right.
always pause to be affirmed.
Right. Yes, no. So when I was in sales and I was doing, when I'd first moved to Jacksonville and started a new sales career, a job I'd found on Craigslist.
You lived in Jacksonville?
I did. It was when
The largest city in America by square
miles.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it around 700?
I have so much
miles?
family in Jacksonville.
Do you really?
You lived in Lake City and I had family there, and then you lived in Jacksonville and I have family there.
Wow.
We're blood relatives in
Somewhere.
Yes. I'm so excited about this.
This is great.
We're not only
Well-
related by marriage, we're related by blood, and this
Right.
is the most Mississippi thing that's ever happened to me in Georgia.
That's right. Well, we get a lot of splash over from Alabama and Mississippi. So yeah, Georgia. But so I moved. That was when I first left. I left my first wife. I'd kind of burned that all to the ground. I was getting ready to leave my cult. And
This sounds like a Taylor Swift song
was-
waiting
it
to
was
be written.
It was amazing. Yeah, it was time for me to hit the road. I had to get out of there. And so I moved to Jacksonville, which is like an hour away from Lake City, so that I could still visit the kids and do all. But I was like, I had to start my life over. I had to get out. Lake City is kind of like whatever little town that you live near. It's just, it's tough being in a small southern town where everybody knows everybody,
Yeah.
and then being in a cult and where everybody's in a tight community. You just turn the volume up way further on that whole.
That'd be difficult to remain in that place. Yeah.
Right. And so I was kind of done. And I got this job. I found this job on Craigslist, which was selling essentially kind of home improvement stuff.
Okay.
The primary thing we sold, the most profitable primary thing we sold, was a heat shield that you'd put obviously in the attic, because in Jacksonville, you can die from overheating by just stepping out on an average summer day. So people's electric bills and stuff were high, and if you could provide a way to reduce it, so we sold a bunch of. We called it E-Shield. Was
it on the
brand.
outside of the roof, like a solar panel, or was it inside the attic?
It was inside the attic.
Like that R-board or whatever, almost like.
It's like our board. Yep.
Okay.
We touted it as NASA helped develop the technology.
Like Tang.
Yeah, exactly. Like Tang for your attic.
Did that sell your?
That's that. You really stole my whole gimmick. While I'd like mix up some beautiful orange drink for them, and while they were enjoying it, like, would you like this for your attic? Yes.
Did NASA approve this endorsement? Did they consent to being used to sell?
Probably not, and they definitely didn't make any money off it if they really did develop it. But yeah, it was supposedly the stuff that it kept the spaceship from burning up or whatever. But yeah, it's just basically a heat shield with a teeny little bit of.
Was it made out of titanium?
No, it was probably
So not
tinfoil.
like a spaceship.
It was garbage, I'm sure. I will say, to my credit, to that company's credit, when I would check on my people afterwards, they legitimately said it dropped their power bill, which is amazing.
Good job.
Yeah.
I'm giving you personal credit for that.
Thank you. Yeah, I love selling that. That was great. And then we sold window replacements, and we did some kitchen refacing, whatever. Anywho, getting into the weeds for a second, just to affirm you, this is like the world's longest story for the shortest affirmation. But that's this is what we're about.
We've affirmed NASA along the way, so I'm here for that too.
Yeah. Well, yes, exactly. We know you like to sit next to astronauts and ask them questions about tampons and stuff. So that'll be
But space is the final frontier, so I just want to encourage anything to do with NASA for as long as we can, because we continually cutting that budget and outsourcing that job, letting other countries do it.
We have Elon Musk now, so fear not, little one. Like we're totally okay. What could possibly go wrong? Anywho, so so the way this worked was these poor people. Ooh, nice callback to Costco and Sam's Club.
Full circle.
Full circle. Didn't plan that, but hey, I'm here for it. There were people we hired to walk around in Costco, and we put a little booth in there that was like home improvement booth. And let's say you're unsuspecting lady at Sam's Club.
Always unsuspecting.
As
me.
you should be. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm here to buy
continually
food
unsuspecting lady. It's
right. That's going to be the name of your autobiography. Yes.
My epitaph on my tombstone, unsuspecting.
She never saw it
Blindsided every time.
It's so funny. Especially
Sometimes
if you go out in like a minorly morbid way. Hopefully not a truck, like more like an asteroid just falls out of the sky. That would be...
Radioactive blast is my hope.
Okay. Just like sizzle you.
Subatomic disassembly, nothing remains. No, nothing. That's my hope.
Okay. I've thought before about like, how about the people that like got depressurized in a quick second?
No, the submarine.
The submarine guys.
Not depressurized, but ultra pressurized.
Well, wouldn't they have been, so they would have imploded. Like, I feel
they
like.
were condensed, like total pressurized.
Right, like black hole stuff, right?
Oh.
Right? But that'd be a really quick, painless way to go, I would think.
I would hope.
Wouldn't you think?
I would hope that was sudden, so sudden that there would be no time for pain, I would think.
Yeah, I'm voting for that.
So that if you can't be blasted outer space where you expand to oblivion. To be condensed into,
right?
Yeah,
I don't know which.
That's probably better than radioactive blast, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like the radioactive blast, and now if you're in the epicenter, it's lights out immediately. But then if you're like a little bit further out, you're like all those poor Japanese folks that lived.
Right. The risk to others. And I don't ever want my death to cause risk to others.
Right. So I'm feeling like the submarine thing or the space thing might be a little bit better. And then it's just like, I feel like it's just a battle of like which one is more humane. I don't know. It's a great question.
In any of those three scenarios, it's most likely going to be something that I wasn't suspecting, which makes me perpetually unsuspecting.
Okay, so you're the unsuspecting lady at Sam's Club. You're tootling along looking for butt wipes for your family, and some energetic person steps out from the booth and was like, hey, would you like a free 20-minute consultation at your house for, and then pick the thing like to lower your energy bill, whatever.
How horrible. Oh my gosh. Not at all. How quickly can I
get away from this person? Okay, but let's say you and Tim have just been talking about needing new windows or how high your electric bill is. Remember, you're in Jacksonville in this alternate world. And said person is like, and I don't know what their opening line is, but like, would you like to lower your power bill? Is your power bill high, whatever? And you're like, yeah, actually, as a matter of fact, it is. It's like up to $400 and da da da. And so then, he's like, well, as one of Sam Club's trusted partners, we here at, fill in the blank. I think it was Rembrandt. That was the company. It was Rembrandt Remodeling. At Rembrandt Remodeling, we're like these trusted partners, and we'll send a qualified, background checked expert out to your house. It's free. It takes 20 minutes, and they're going to give you a little free whatever. And so let's say in that scenario, most people say no, but let's say you say yes. Here's what you actually signed up for. Okay, that you got told it was 20 minutes and free.
This is like a timeshare.
It's complete nonsense.
Tim would buy the product to keep them from coming to our house to show it to us.
Right.
He would buy it on site, unseen.
Yeah.
To avoid having someone come to our house and give a presentation.
Yeah. Right. So, yeah. So then that was called a lead, which they would give to us, which what was actually going to happen to you is me or some other schmuck was going to show up to your house, sit you first in the living room, then move to the kitchen, all strategic psychological warfare on you. And what was supposed to be a 20-minute free, as I was going to try to pull somewhere between $4,000 and $14,000 out of your hands, your grubby little hands that night.
Joke's on you.
No. You
come to my house thinking you're going to get $14,000.
This program was like this guy who came up with it. He's still around, and I'm Facebook friends with him. He's fantastic. Like he developed this in-home, absolutely killer blue suede shoes, siding salesman, like program it was amazing. Like that sounds nuts that could be done. I'm telling you, there was a dozen of us guys like myself that made a decent little living selling it. Remember, we were just making a little teeny commission. We were all making like anywhere between $40,000 and like $90,000 to $100,000 a year on leads for people that thought they were going to have a free 20-minute whatever. Anyways, it's beautiful. So here comes the affirmation part. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, here's the affirmation part. My boss, I'm going to think of his name. You know how bad I am with names. I'm going to think of his name.
Rembrandt.
When it comes to me at some point. But he would always tell us, he was like, when you get to the door, if they come up to the door, and most of them would do this, they would open the door and they'd be like, "Hi, Justin. Thank you for coming to the house. Just want to let you know up front, under absolutely zero circumstances are we going to buy anything from you tonight. So I just want you to know, like, if you're
tonight you're going to people's houses at
because you. Oh, by the way, you also had to have the husband and wife
present at the same time.
Yeah, otherwise you'd walk away. Oh my
gosh.
Okay, hold on, wait. So
coming back to that.
Wait for it. This is affirmation. This is how long it takes to give you an affirmation, yes. Right? It's worth it. The payoff is worth it in the end. If they said absolutely under no circumstances are you going to get one single dime from us, so I just want you to know that. So if you're expecting that, Justin, right. Please leave right now. Those people we're going to buy from you. If they said to you, "Oh my gosh, so glad to see you. We've just got done baking the cookies and welcome you in," you won't sell them a damn thing.
Seriously?
100% every time. Because, back to your point, the person who was resisting was actually wanted what you had to sell, but was determined not to get hoodwinked into buying it that night. So they were telling you, "I actually care about this. I'm actually interested. I just don't want to be forced into a situation where I have to buy tonight." The other person was saying, "I don't care what you're selling. I have zero interest. I am totally ambivalent," and would just welcome you with open arms. You might as well walk out.
No kidding.
Fascinating piece of psychology on.
Did they make cookies for you, really?
Well, I did have people make, I had every kind of weird and wonderful situation you can imagine.
That's just really
going
thoughtful.
In hundreds of people's houses, selling them, whatever. But yeah, that was one of the things it was an absolute truism. And I remember the first couple of times I got the, never going to buy from you in a million years, whatever. You couldn't, pry the greenbacks in my hand with a freaking snow
and then you
shovel.
sell them on it.
You just be after a while you learn oh, those are the people. Don't be scared. They're scared of you. That was kind of the whole psychology.
I'm just thinking of religious convert. I wonder if that translates into religion the same way. The ones that are most staunchly yuck, hate
right.
it. But then when they make a conversion, it's a full-fledged, as opposed to the person. Could you convert an atheist easier than you can convert an agnostic? Somebody who just doesn't really care.
I think you're right on that. I think I would rather convert an atheist than an agnostic. Or the worst is maybe the Buddhist.
Why would I want to convert a Buddhist? They're so
I know. I'm not
peaceful.
saying you should, but if you're a good evangelical, you should want to convert everybody. I'm just saying Buddhists are so chill about their religion. For the most part, they're just kind of like, hey, Buddha's cool, Jesus is cool. Like, they're just chill. How are you ever going to move that person?
Absolute hard sell. They're so comfortable with where they're at.
Whereas if they're like, F Christianity, F Jesus, you're like, sweet dog.
Excuse me, most peaceful of all world inhabitants. Could I convert you to a religion with a strong history of violence and neglecting women and corruption within its organizational structure?
Yeah.
Imperialism.
Hello, lovely friends. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. And it would mean the world if you would tell other people about this podcast and maybe even spam your social media accounts with just how much you're enjoying it. If you are, of course. Also, commenting and rating us on whatever platform you're downloading or streaming from is incredibly helpful to a little startup podcast like this one. On the other hand, if you are dissatisfied with your listening experience, please leave all of that hate on someone else's podcast. Just maybe to confuse them a little bit, right? But most of all, we hope you keep looking up and looking for the sunny side of life.